Good morning and welcome to the 12th episode of
Wake Up with the Comets,
the summer morning show brought to the employees of Western Iowa Tech by the employees of Western Iowa Tech. I'm Mara Hall, Internal Communications Coordinator.
And I still think I might be LaShawna Dean Moyle, Coordinator for Inclusive Excellence here on campus. Today we have a delightful episode for y'all. We would like to bring to you our one and only and my favorite library specialist, Morgan Kuntz.
Woo!
Welcome to Wake Up with the Comets. Yay!
Thank you for having me.
Yay, we're so glad that you're here, Morgan.
So glad.
It's going to be awesome. And you brought some friends.
I did. I brought
Beautiful
so many
array of
friends.
books.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. You were like, I feel comfortable within books, so I will bring them.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what, I love it. It makes me so happy.
It makes me happy. I'm
Yeah.
old school and I like to touch and feel the books.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Smell, all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
They do smell great.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
Nostalgia for me. Yes.
And we will get to the books in a second. Yes. But in the meantime, enjoy the look of it all.
Yes.
You guys. You
Check
can go
'em
between
out.
looking at us and the books. So, Morgan, you have been a part of the Witt family for a long time, right? Like, even before school, you're an alumni as well. Your mom works here. Sweet, wonderful, incredibly talented Lynn Kuntz.
Shout out to Lynn.
Yes, she's the best. I just saw her in the loft, and she was showing off her fair entries.
Yes.
She
Wow,
is
how
an
exciting.
incredible crochet, right?
Yes,
Crochet
yes.
artist.
Love this.
Yeah, and I was like, I will buy that from you. I will buy that from you when you're done. So dibs.
Nice. I love
Yeah,
that.
I love that. So, and then, so your mom works here, right? And then you're an alumnus. In fact, my first job at Witt was housing secretary, and you lived in housing.
I did.
While I
I
worked
did.
there.
I love this.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this, y'all. As you can tell, I'm completely surprised. So I'm learning how fantastic.
Yeah. And then you went to the bookstore, correct? And
Yeah.
then now you're our library specialist.
Yes.
So we covered that a little bit, but I mean, you're obviously stuck with Witt. You're stuck with us. Tell us about your Witt journey, why you decided to come to school here and things like that.
Well, like you said, it started with Mom. I came on campus way too early because I was walking as a toddler, visiting Mom. I would go to
sweet.
the youth camps, and then when it came to picking a college or anything, well, of course, it had to be Witt. And so I did the 2-2 program, and then I went with Univista. Because it was just an easy transfer. I tell that
Yes.
to every student to make sure they look into a 2-2 program because it's
Love
just
that.
it's so easy.
I love that.
Because we have so many agreements with everybody that
Yes.
it might as well. And then when I went out into the world, it didn't last long because I came back here and I've been here for going on my 9th year now. So I've been here for 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
So yeah.
That's
Wow.
so fun. I love that so much. And how long have you been in the library specialist role?
So I was hired in October. In
Okay.
October.
So
Okay.
almost a year.
Coming up
We're
on a
coming
year.
up on a year.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
How exciting.
That is exciting.
Can I just say shout out to our camps? Because you shouted out you'd been to the camps and to Buena Vista and that transfer.
And to your mom.
And to
my
mom.
mom.
Yes. Because
Having her
yeah.
here at a toddler age, talk about exposure at an early age, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I do that. I do that with my kids. I bring them, and especially now that we have athletics, Elliot thinks it's the coolest thing in the world to come on campus. She also thinks I'm a teacher. She'll be like, "What did you teach today?" And I'm like, "Well, a lot."
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah, always learning. Always
Yes.
learning.
And so you shared that you'd been in the library specialist role since about October. So tell us why you were drawn to that position.
Well, our environment as a college is ever changing, whether we like it or not. I think it's fun that the environment is constantly changing. It's different than if you're in a business or if you're in banking or whatever. Our environment's always changing, and that's why I like WIT. I wanted to be in just on campus. It's just because it's ever changing, and I liked that.
Me too.
Working as a student, and then I was like, well, I want to be back here. And then I just like being creative. So having the opportunity to just constantly be creative and then being creative in the background is also one of my favorite things. And so I was like, I did this thing. Here you go.
You get to enjoy it.
Yeah,
then.
that's my. I was like, well, I want to support you. How can I support you? How can I support you? How can I support your department? How can I support the students? Here you go. I did this.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, and so that's a lot of what the library does that maybe some people
Yes.
don't know is that
Yes.
you guys have a lot of support systems in place. Like, I know there's resources. There's Kurzweil Reader. There's all kinds of things faculty can use, staff can use, and especially students can use. That you guys are always ready and willing to train people on, show them how to use. And then there's also really cool stuff like you started a library blog.
Yes. So in the spring, I started a library blog, but the libraries in general have transitioned back into the third location. So not just our library, but libraries across the country. It's not work. It's not home. It's not like school or anything. It's another location to be and be a human into.
Yes.
So what I wanted to do is make sure that our students and even staff who are not on campus have that opportunity to have that. So I started with the blog in the spring. So it has guest bloggers that Mara's been in.
I did one.
It has Nerd Week that
Okay.
anyone who is passionate about something, like I wrote about fan fiction. So
I
like
love that.
obviously that's a bit nerdy, but it can be anything that you're passionate about. We have histories about months or even like the fun little days like Iowa Day or Ice Cream Day, any kind of like history that we can put into. We have like book recommendations, podcast recommendations that we have always been wanting recommendations for.
Yeah.
So make sure you put that in.
Yeah, and if so, people like kind of what you're saying is like, okay, I did a guest blog. Anybody could be a guest blogger,
Yeah.
right? They just have to contact you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it can be like a book, or it could be like, well, I learned something cool, or
Yeah.
anything. It didn't have to be a set topic.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be like 4 pages. I think mine was like 3 or 4 paragraphs.
Yeah, even 2 paragraphs, 1 paragraph.
Yeah.
We take no limitations. Yeah,
love this.
That's
yeah.
super cool.
You mentioned so many things that immediately drew me in. So when you talked about why you were drawn to the library, you talked about change, right, in education, and some of us really don't like change, but that's really how this works. And so I applaud you for saying, hey, I love this.
Yeah.
I love that you're saying, hey, I like to be supportive of not just the staff and faculty, but I know it ultimately goes back to the students. And additionally, you mentioned that creativity piece, which brought us to the blog. And I think within academia, we really have an opportunity to be creative. And so even if we're not thinking of that all the time, there are these moments where, and you've highlighted that, and I applaud you for that. How fantastic.
Thank you.
I love that too because sometimes people have brilliant, exciting passions, right, that they can nerd out about, but no platform to share that. So this is providing a space to be like, hey, have you guys heard about this podcast about, whatever it is, right? And it's exciting and it's cool that you can make connections that way too. You say, oh, I didn't know Chuck Polk, right? Chuck just came to mind now because I know he was a guest blogger.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't know Chuck Polk cared about X, Y, and Z. I want to go talk to him about that. And it's a great way to create relationships and connections with people in our beautiful WIT family.
Love it.
Yeah. And also you said about things changing. I know we put out one of the titles, one's about teaching about AI. You've got Reskilling America. You've also got fiction books. When We Were Birds is right here. That was one of my choices for when I was in lifelong learning. Oh, the cover is so beautiful. Sometimes I chose books I chose them for everything, but because their covers were so pretty.
It helps.
It makes a difference.
It does.
It really does. And you do a great job. Are you the one who does the displays on top of the...
I've been polling for them, yeah, I have. Speaking of AI, we've expanded the content on the library page as well, or the web page. So not only do we have like the program pages specifically for the content for all the programs, but we have like an AI section about all the different things that are happening in AI because that's so
huge.
important. We have like library basics because sometimes students don't know how to use the
Yes.
library, all the different things that we have. We have stress relief. Do you know that you can go into the Louvre from your home?
Yes, it's so cool. And I
So-
only know
It's
that
amazing.
because of you.
Yeah.
I saw you working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
amazing.
neat.
So that's on our stress relief page, so that all that's accessible for the students who may not even know need that stress relief that we have available on our physical campus. Now it's on our online portion
I
of the
love that so
campus.
much. Yeah, and nerding out about communications, you are archiving all our old communications, right? So you're working on. There's a lot, so you have a lot to go through. But you've gotten a few years from the '90s done.
Yeah.
And I sent that out in the last WIT Connect. If people want to go on and click that link, you can see some of the history of WIT from the '90s, which
Yeah.
is weird and fun, right?
Yeah, it is
Interesting.
It is wild. I think the first one that I actually scanned, or one of the first ones I scanned, it was like the opening of that space that we're in now, that opening of the library
Oh,
space.
wow.
Like, what? That's kind of wild that
What
I'm
a
scanning
full
this
circle.
in.
That's so special. A lot of libraries, I think people think, okay, they're books, there are places to go, but a lot of library science work is archiving, right? And so there's a lot of history that can be found within a library. So it's really special, and I'm really delighted at the work the library is doing. You and
Yes,
Kendra, and then also like you guys are putting on events too. You guys are working on a lot of cool events.
lot of events.
Yes.
Like trivia is going to be in the
Yes.
fall.
Yep.
I think you're working on a scavenger hunt-ish thing, and like other cool things like that. So a lot can happen in the library.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of events. We usually try to do like 2 of them per semester. We definitely have like a stress relief during midterms, and then like a
Yes.
final one. Those are kind of the big ones, and then
And
we're kind
snacks usually.
of snacks.
People love snacks.
Snacks.
So make sure you kind of tell your students. You see them in the hallway, like, hey, did you know?
Yes.
Go see the library.
Go to the library. That's awesome.
Additionally, as a staff member who's close to the library, CIE, right there.
Neighbors.
Yes, we're neighbors. I also frequent Go Say Hello, go through when they're having their events. It's a good way to connect with students as well, have your students see you outside of the classroom, outside of your office space. So staff and faculty as well. Visit the displays, visit the events, say hello.
I love that.
Yeah.
Anything else you think people should know that the library does that we haven't covered?
Well, I mean, we do a lot, so you might as well just stop
as
and
well
say
just stop.
hello.
Just stop by.
Just
Right,
say
just check it
hello,
out,
and
yeah.
then we will tell you, hey, we can do this for you. Did you know
Yes.
we do this?
I
Can
love
can we do something with you?
Yeah. Moral of the story: go say hi.
Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Get it?
Check it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did
Puns
on purpose.
intended.
Pun is intended.
Yes.
I love that. Yes, perfect. Wonderful. Well, this was so fun, Morgan. Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Yeah,
This
thank you
was
for
really
having
delightful.
me.
You are a delight. You
Yes.
are my delight for today.
Did you want to show that card on how to access?
Yes. So we talked about obviously go to the library, right? But then a lot of the services that you're talking about that can be found online, you can go to MyWit, and then there is a library card. It's literally entitled library. So if it's not up and you don't have it flagged, just use the search bar and search library, and then there's a link and it says library services, and that will take you right to the library page, and it gives you access to the blog, to all of those resources, and just the amazing work that they are doing in the library.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for joining us, and we would love to tell you to have a wit-tastic day.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.